What is happening, every people of the world? Hello and welcome to the Mad Poet Society, the Mad Poet Show, Mad Poet stuff, doing mad, doing poet, doing stuff. That's what we do. Hello, hello. Hello, one, hello, all. I see Obscure Mysticism Cults is here, and Therese is here looking in. It looks like Therese is looking in from Twitch and from YouTube. And I don't know what you guys might be seeing right now. There are some messages potentially coming up. I don't know if they're coming up on all of the different sites, but at least on Twitch, we should be seeing something that says that we are experimenting with channel points. And one of my big pieces of curiosity is whether or not this is going to work on YouTube and Facebook. So if you are watching from Facebook, it would be the Mad Poet, not my personal page. I'm streaming to both of those. If you're watching from there, or you're watching from YouTube, or if you happen to be watching from Trovo, feel free to let me know if you are able to see what's going on with the points, and then try to type in exclamation point points, and that'll tell you what your point status is. I'm just curious about how it works, and if it turns out that it works well, then we're going to have prizes and stuff. I've got some ideas set up for how we're gonna be able to redeem those points. So like I said, kind of an experiment. We'll see how that all works out. Nonetheless, welcome one, welcome all. If this is your first time watching this, I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. This is what we do. We play music. We talk about stuff. That's about it. All right, so Therese. Okay. So the Space Pirate Marketing has 33 points. Cool. And so what should be happening is you should get 33 points for every 10 minutes that you're watching. And now, Therese, if you could try that through, tell me if you see it on YouTube, and also if you're able to do the points command in YouTube. That would be awesome. And interestingly, if you type in your points thing, I can see what you've got. It comes up on my chat thing, so that's kind of cool. And we'll see what happens there. And with your Therese Lewis account on YouTube, I believe you should have more. I assigned some extra points already for some of my already known loyal viewers, like Obscure Mysticism. And so Obscure Mysticism Cult should have, it looks like it might not work on YouTube. Okay, that's good to know. It might only be viable on Twitch, which is weird because I can assign points to people who are Obscure Mysticism Cults. Have you ever watched from Twitch? I'm curious if that works. Because I know that I assigned you points, but I don't think you've ever watched from Twitch. So I'm still not sure how it all works. Nonetheless, that last song was actually dedicated to Therese. She and I have been friends for about 5,000 years now. The song is called Parallel Decay. We are playing my 43rd album tonight. It is titled Four-Sided Triangle. Okay. Weird thing about the points. I don't know why Obscure Mysticism Cults showed up in the point system, since I can't use the points on YouTube. That is weird. I'm going to keep working on it. We'll see what we come up with. Nonetheless, Therese is awesome. That's why I dedicated a song to her. And we're going to keep moving forward here. We're going to slow it down a little bit. We're going to be playing in the key of E Phrygian. This next song is called Disturbance in Point. Not in point. I got points in my brain. Disturbance Input. I'm also curious about if one of you wants to check it out on both Twitch and on YouTube. There's also an occasional little text popping up that has some links to my website and Discord and stuff. Do those actually show up as clickable links, or are they just text? I'm curious about if those are functional in this system. So if anyone wants to take a look at that at any point, that would be great. Nonetheless, thank you very much for being here, wherever you're tuning in from. I'm streaming to 12 different websites, a couple places on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Trovo, Nemo, Vaughn, Picardo, Africa, VK, all over the place, and it's just fun that way. And if you're just coming in for the first time tonight, I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. You are now an official member. You're a member for life. That's the way it is. And this is what we do. But there's something more important that we also do. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the G sharp minor portion of the show. You are welcome. Renee is here. Thanks for coming in, Renee. Always good to see you. I'm glad you've got some actual time in your life to actually do stuff other than work. And yes, you arrived just in time for the rad G sharp minor. Looks like the links are working, so that's also awesome. And this song is called When Day Becomes Night. And it looks like Renee is actually working tonight, but she's tuning in from work, so that's just as good. Though I will stand with my previous statement, I wish more people had time to not work, because not working is awesome. Water is also awesome. Drink lots of water. Oh yes, fun! So I did a little impromptu show the other night at like 11 o'clock at night, one of my later shows. That was a lot of fun. Did Partially Inexplicable, and I had my same only partially explicable, partially inexplicable light problem where I know what happens, I don't know how it happens. There's a thing where I basically have 7 different channels, so to speak, for my lights, for the various colors. And somehow, sometimes one of those channels will get shifted just like a few milliseconds in the program. And that makes certain aspects of particularly the lights in front not work. So yeah, that happened and I was unable to fix it during the show. So that was, I'm still trying to work that out. Like I said, I know what the end result is. I don't know what the process is that gets them there. It seems like it should not be happening. So I don't know, that's part of the game, I guess, that we have these little glitches in life. But I think I may play that album again soon since I do have the lights fixed now. I'm glad everyone is enjoying the show wherever you're tuning in from. Thank you very much for being here. We are playing my 43rd album tonight. It's titled Four-Sided Triangle. Fun fact, originally, as I was putting together my lists of albums, I was going to do Four-Sided Triangle as my 33rd album. And as I was coming up on it, I realized it would make more sense to do it as my 43rd album because Four-Sided Triangle. Oh, symbolism. Wow, so fun. But yeah, so I actually waited 10 albums on doing this one. And I did something else for my 33rd album. I think my 33rd album might have been Invisible Obstructions. Something like that. I don't know. I don't even have the titles of my albums memorized, let alone the songs or how to play them. So, which is why I always have sheet music going in front of me during these shows. That is basically what enables me to do these shows, is that I have this program that will scroll through the sheet music in time, and that is pretty amazing. So again, wherever you're coming in from, welcome. Thank you very much for being here. You are appreciated. Glad to have you here. I'm a little on the extra thirsty side tonight. Did about 40 minutes of rope jumping earlier today. That felt really good. And I was listening to the new album while I did it. I have figured out one of the problems I was having with getting my sound correct. And that actually made a big jump in the production of the new album. So that's really cool that I figured that out. Basically something that was switched on by default, like a part of a plugin that was switched on that did some stuff that I didn't really understand. And it looks like Invisible Obstructions is correct. Good. And fortunately, that's something that can be checked very easily by going to my website and looking at where the albums are at. And it's actually easier for someone like Therese to go look that up than it is for me, because I don't have I'm basically set up for streaming right now. I got my broadcast software, I got my sheet music, I got my chats, and in my various monitors. Yeah, I kind of need to move back to a 4-monitor system. And since I've moved this camera around, changed a few things, I may be able to do that a little more effectively in the near future. So that's something else I'll have to look back into. Nonetheless, good times hopefully are being had by all, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, do it well. I hope you are enjoying yourselves and having a great life. This next song is in D minor. Nice upbeat piece. This is called Decayed Mind. of those fun times where I totally didn't even recognize the end of the song was coming. That is certainly not the first time that has ever happened to little Randolph the Mad Poet. The question is, the mad in Mad Poet, is it because I'm angry or because I'm crazy? It's because I'm crazy. We're going to slow it back down a little bit here. This next song is called 100 Years Ago. It's kind of a funky stopping point on that one. Back when I was doing the composition for this album and the albums in this time frame, I had not conceived of the idea of doing online shows. And so kind of the space in between songs and the sheet music wasn't always conducive to setting shows up. So I kind of have to work around those. I had a little note there, quick stop, and stopped a little too quick. Now I got it all worked out, and that's exciting. Moving on, song number 6 here. This album's only got 8 songs, but they are a bit longer on average than my normal. And I tend to write songs a bit on the long side. That's kind of a not uncommon thing in the progressive metal various genres. We tend to like longer songs. It's not a short attention span crowd that we're going for. So there you go. Which is also why we generally have a smaller crowd. Because most people do have a short attention span. So if you're here, you're probably already rising above the standard for human beings. So let's just face it, we're good, people. There you go. Okay. Yes, 43rd album tonight. Four-Sided Triangle by the Mad Poet, which happens to be me, which makes it really good because I don't have to worry about copyright because it's all my music. This is something that comes up all the time when I'm on like a forums or whatever for online streaming, and it's just all the time it comes up, you know, can I use this music? Can I use this music? It's like, no. You have to get permission from the artist. And most people want to use like really big name artists for this stuff. It's like, no, you're never going to get permission for that stuff. So what I suggest to people, if you're a streamer, if you're a YouTube personality, find smaller musicians. I've had probably a dozen people ask me, can I use your music in my YouTube video, in my stream? And I'm like, yeah, go for it. And now they've got, you know, that's usually an online exchange, so they've got written permission, they can point to it. It's really, if they ever, you know, if someone ever says, hey, you're using the Mad Poet's music, they can be like, yeah, here's the message, he said I could. And, you know, it's cooler to use small, small creators' music and work anyway. So, yeah, if you need some punk music for the background of your stream, for your video game, or for your YouTube video, you know, find some little insolvent punk band, which is not hard to do. That's really easy, and they're probably gonna be like, yeah, go for it. And I'll bet if you contact 3 punk bands, you'd have a hard time finding one that says no. So it's not that tough to get permission to use music, but I don't have to because this is my music. I have played now the one copyrighted piece, which was Koyan Baba. Fortunately, I don't appear to have had any trouble with that. But I don't think Carlo Dominiconi, who created that, has ever gone after anyone. Not that I know of anyway, so that was a pretty safe bet. And I do have potential plans for some other kind of comedic versions, cover tunes that I might do in the future and play with. I think most of the time that people get in trouble, it's when they're using recorded music, which I will not be doing. So that simplifies my life a bit. Nonetheless, moving into song number 6 of 8. This is called Unannounced Degeneration Process. And so we are moving on along. Hey, Therese, if you are still on, since I know your channel points are working, just again as a test, and if we keep doing the points thing, if I can work it all out, then I will refund these points to you. You should have enough at this point. Type in !hat. And that should cost you, so check your points before, and then check your points after. And basically that's one of the things that I've set up is you can use 55 points to have me put on a hat. And eventually I'm gonna have a variety of hats, top hat, bowler hat, cowboy hat, and some other things to spend those points on just for fun. And okay, so I'm just curious if anything else comes up. So just that. 198, okay. And we've been here for just over an hour. Okay, so that makes sense. So you should get 198 an hour. You probably just crossed over an hour, so you add your back. Okay. So then I would put on the hat. See how that works? So exciting. So exciting. Cool. Anyway, that is one of the things I'm hoping to do. I gotta say, I kind of like the top hat. Kind of works. And some of the various point things that I want to do, and they will cost a variety of things. Like you can use points to have me play slide guitar, have me play classical guitar. Those would be a little, like the hat so far would be the cheapest one at 55. There's one that would cost, I think it was like something like 11,000 points. And that would be to name a song on my next album. And that of course would be like subject to moderation. I wouldn't let people put, it's got to be a song title I would approve of. I forget what all I had cooked up for it, but I've got some stuff in there for that. Yeah, so I'm just curious about, because that would be something that in there, I feel like there should have been something else pop up. I'll have to look at that, because that would be very easy for me to miss someone just doing that and then have it cost them the points and I didn't see it. So I do want to thank also, I see I've got a new follower on here that actually came in before the show. I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, N-A-G-A-D-G, Nagad-J. If you're out there watching, thanks very much for the follow. I hope you are enjoying the Mad Poet stuff. And anyone out there, wherever you're coming in from, whether you're a follower or just a viewer, if you are on any of the various websites, if you chat or not, I appreciate you being here. I hope you enjoy the music. I always have a great time doing it. If you like what I do, go to themadpoet.net. That is my website, and all of my music is available for free there. There are also links to my various social things and stuff and junk, and you can stream all my music and yeah, just do, you know, the same boring stuff you do on every website everywhere in the world. That's what my website is too. This next song we're gonna play with a hat is called the Seventh Sanctum, and this is one of two song titles that are the same as an album title but not on that album. So the Seventh Sanctum is this song, and it is also my 49th album title. And the other one, I forget which album the song is on, but I have an album called Soulless and Delirium, and that song is on not that album. So, you know, normally you'll have like the Patron Saint of Murderers has its title song, the Patron Saint of Murderers, on the same album. Sometimes I mix it up and put them on different albums. And there's a reason that I do that. It's a really good reason. It's because I didn't notice it until afterward. That's what actually happened in both cases. I have not checked comprehensively, but I don't think that I have doubled up and used the same song title twice. I don't think I've done that. But I did make the mistake of using the Seventh Sanctum on this album, and then my 49th album for the album title and also Soulless and Delirium. So we're slowing it down a little bit. This, I believe, is the slowest one on the album tonight, the Seventh Sanctum. All right. Well, I kind of like the point thing. I think it's kind of cool. I think we're going to have some fun with that. I'm curious about how it's going to work, because it looks like it's only going to be viable on Twitch, but I am going to look into that more. So I'm curious about, hopefully people on other websites won't feel left out. I do want to have an inclusive community here with the Mad Poet Society. And I don't know, maybe people will end up doing more Twitch. Because I'm basically, whatever website gets the most traction is where I'm going to concentrate most of my effort. But I find that most things for, streaming tools tend to be pretty Twitch-centric. So it does kind of push people toward that platform. And I'm a pretty nonpartisan individual about where people tune in from. You view from wherever you want to, baby. You just do your own thing. So this album is not shorter than normal in actual minutes, but it does have 8 songs instead of my usual 10 or 11. So the songs are a little longer, which means that we are moving into the final song of the evening here. So wherever you're coming in from, again, thank you very much. I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. Tonight we're playing my 43rd album. This is titled Four-Sided Triangle. And this last song we're going to play is called The Lords of Yesterday. All right, this has been a very fun show. Thank you all very much for coming in tonight. I've had a great time. I hope you have as well. Looks like Renee checked her points, and she is ranked 2 of 86 on the leaderboard. And no, actually, the number 1 spot, you'll be ahead of Doc now simply because he wasn't here tonight. What I did is I went in and I gave 111 points to all of kind of my usual viewers. Therese, yourself, Doc, Dr. Gack, Cycling Virgil, Obscure Mysticism Cults, Metal Diva, there's a few of you. And the reason you're number 2 is because there's an account on Twitch called Randolph Jr., and that is an alternate account of mine that I use for testing things. And I gave that one like 20,000 points or something. And I've kind of done different things with that. I've tested like 1,000 points and 100,000 points, and so my fake account is actually number 1 on the leaderboard, but it basically doesn't count. So you are probably technically number 1 because Therese. And see, now I'm curious about Therese's points for. I don't know. I'm not sure how it all exactly works. So it's. Yeah, because Therese has got the Space Pirate Marketing, which will be brand new. I didn't give any points to that one. But I felt like I gave Therese points from her YouTube account, but still the people on YouTube that tested it, it didn't work. I don't know how the points work. I don't know anything. All I know is that I know nothing because I am the Mad Poet. You are number 1, Renee. You are of all of my children, you are my absolute favorite. And I don't even care if all my children know that. That's right. Renee's my favorite of my kids. Of all of my 1 kids. And you know what? You've been my favorite for about 30 years now. So, because I'm getting really old. But I can still jump rope for 45 minutes nonstop. So, sucker! Nonetheless, wherever you're tuning in from, thank you very much for coming in. I had a great time tonight. I hope that you enjoyed the show. This is always a lot of fun for me, and I like having people watch my music, listen to my music, smell my music, whatever it is you're doing out there. I hope you're doing it well. I'm going to be back next Friday at 8 o'clock p.m. in the Pacific time zone. As per usual, I may do some other random streams during the week, as I sometimes do. And hopefully you'll be around for those as well. But have a great week. I hope to see you at the next one. I'll see you on